Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I have got another design using glitters from the Superfine collection, which is the Nail Team Glitter of the Week. Now I actually planned a design similar to this for New Year's Eve, but as I didn't do it then, here it is now. So if you'd like to see how I created it, keep watching. I'm working on my Elena hand for this design. I'm not sure if I named this one, but let's go with Danny. Gems acrylics as always, and I've got my must-have go-to acrylic for every design I do, Crystal Clear. For a couple of nail beds, I am using Pinky Pink. This is a slightly pinkier cover powder. If you want peachier, then Peachy Peach is your go-to. For colour in this design, I have got Eve. She is the most perfect black acrylic, applies like a dream. And to go with her, I've got this beautiful, beautiful silver. This is like liquid silver Elena. I love this one. I've not used it nearly enough, so I definitely need to use her more. And then the Superfines I am using for this design is the Superfine Black, and then the most gorgeous holographic silver. This is probably my favourite in the entire collection. I've got platinum. Just look at the hollowness. There is a silver in the range, but I decided to go with platinum, and wow, I love these. I really do. So I'd already done my thin clear base. I was all organised. So I am going in now on the ring finger and the middle finger, and I am just doing my reverse smile line nail bed. So first bead, shaping it into that smile line shape, blended it back slightly so my second cuticle bead will blend into it seamlessly, and then just using the side of my brush just to pat in those wings and get that nice smiley shape. So you've seen me do this several times before, so just neatening it up, faffing around, patting it down, making sure that wall is nice and even all the way around, and then I'll do my next cuticle bead, and then I'll do exactly the same thing on the next nail. So just while I'm doing this, I'm using the size 8 Eleanor brush from Gems. This is definitely my go-to brush for shorter nails, and I used the Gems extra long coffin tips and chopped them down to get this salon almond shape and length, and I'm loving this length and shape at the moment, so it's definitely featuring more and more in my designs. So just doing my second bead, and I'm 99.9% certain that I capped these two nail beds in Precious Pink, which is the really nice translucent pink acrylic. Really nice for capping nail beds. It just makes it all look that little bit more natural. So I didn't worry about apex or structure. I just got the nail bed colour down, got the shape of my smile line, and then went back in with Precious Pink to encapsulate. So doing the same thing on the middle finger now. I saw a really good tip from Gemma for doing smile lines to make sure you get them all the same length, using a little tape measure. And measure the length from cuticle, and then sort of mark it with a cuticle pusher, so just kind of scratch it in. I tend to do it by eye and pull in the two fingers together. I really need to dig out my tape measure to try that in one of my next smile line designs. So fabulous tip from Gemma, but as I said, I just sort of do it by eye. Same with getting the shape, just keep looking back at the one I've already done, and that is why I tend to faff more on my second smile line because I'm trying to get it to match the first. So going in with that second cuticle bead now, remember I'm not building apex here, I am just getting the nail bed coverage. So blending it in to that first bead, just tidying up around the smile line, and now I'm going in with Precious Pink just to get that apex in place. I have sped this up a little bit more because it's nothing you've not seen me do before. Once I'd got those two smile line nail beds done, I leave that to fully set and then I will just file them up so that they are nice and crisp and even. I always think of a Christmas song then, crisp and even. What is it? Good King Wenceslas. That's the one. And I'm moving into colour. So here we go. Elena, how precious is this colour? It is the most gorgeous silver. I do think the range needs like a liquidy gold like this now. Tiny bead, that is all I picked up, and I've just painted that on the nail. I've gone in with full coverage, but I am doing sort of a glitter fade from the cuticle, so it didn't need to be perfect coverage there, but I literally just painted it on the nail. It paints on beautifully. Now on the other finger, this is a pinky, I'm doing a full nail in Eve. Now I like to work nice small beads, especially around the cuticle, so that you don't get any black on the skin, because black is horrible, and just paint it on nice and thin, just painting it on. Eve is super pigmented. You can see I'm really wiping my brush off on my towel. It looks a bit more vigorous than I actually do it because I've sped up, but really wipe it off before putting my brush in the monomer, because I don't want to stain the monomer, and I tend to dip my brush in and then take it out and wipe it on the towel again. I don't sort of drain it or anything in the monomer because, again, I don't want to stain it. So just adding a touch more, because I do quite small beads, it might take me a few more. And now we're going to add some glitter, although Elena is pretty sparkly all on her own. So smile lines have been filed, just giving them a clean, and now we're going to add some glitter. So, which one am I doing first? On Elena, I am going to do some of that black superfine from the cuticle and down, just feathering it out slightly. So I'm only going roughly about halfway as it feathers out, because I still want to see the Elena at the tip. So here you can see I'm just sort of feathering it down. This has got to be encapsulated, so not building up any bulk or anything, just sort of feathering it slightly, similar to how I did in my previous video, and then missing a nail and doing black on the next smile line, and then that smile line will be silver. So little beads so I can get right up into the wings, just cleaning that smile line as I go, keeping it nice and even. I did know I was going to put crystals and charms on both of these nails. I just wasn't 100% certain about how I was going to do them, whether I was just going to do a couple of little crystals, I was going to do any big charms. So I wanted to make the nail as perfect as I possibly could, and then I'd work out what sort of design I was going to do when they were all filed. And I did sort of file away some of the glitter, and it was a little bit uneven in places. It was fine because I already knew I was going to add crystals, and I had some star charms. So I just placed those over the parts of the nail I wasn't happy with. So, you know, it was a win-win situation. And as I had that in mind already, because that was sort of what I wanted to do the design for, purely to use one of these charms. So black all done. Now we're going to go into platinum. I love this one. It really is my favourite from the Superfine. And there is also a multi-cut glitter and a dot glitter in the same colour, and they are beautiful. So again, getting right up into the wings. I've got to encapsulate this, so I'm just keeping it nice and thin, patting it down. Want to make sure it's nice and even around that smile line, otherwise when you do come to file it, it can look a little bit wonky. I don't really want to get any on the nail bed, but because that is all done and it's all okay, it'll all file away. It'll all come out in the wash. But I like to work as clean as I can. Clean and perfect as I can. So here you can see I'm just swiping down that smile line. That also moves some of that glitter up into the wings, and I want to get right up into the wing so I don't have any little bald spots or blank spaces. Patting it right down, and then when I'm finished, when I'm happy, I'm going to move on and I'm going to do a little platinum fade on the black nail. So teeny tiny little bead at the cuticle. I had way too much there, and here you can see I'm just pushing it back, so I've got a nice neat cuticle line, and then just feathering it down ever so slightly. And once I was happy with all my glitter fades, hard not to be happy with glitter really, and I was, I'm going to encapsulate all of these nails in clear acrylic, and I'm going to file them ready to add my bling. So that's all done off camera, so give me a moment and we'll be back with freshly filed nails. And here they are. I am loving this shape at the moment, I really am. And how pretty is that Elena? Oh, love it. So just going to give them all a clean over, and it was at this point that I noticed those few little bits that I wasn't particularly happy with. No worries, because I'm adding bling bling bling. So I've got a load of crystals out, I've got some black and I've got some clear crystals, and then I've got this little star charm that I got from Shein before Christmas, and I had in mind some New Year's designs, but you know, that all went horribly wrong, so I'm going to use it in this. So I picked where there was a few imperfections and put my Crystal Nails gem glue on, and then placed that charm just so it covered that imperfection, just poking it, getting it exactly where I want it, and I'm just flash curing with my little torch. And then I'm going to add some black and clear crystals sort of around that, bit more at the cuticle, coming down the nail. It was just really random, it was just sort of where I felt like I wanted to stick some in. So using that gem glue again, and I'm just placing them on, and then I will flash cure that nail again before adding some more crystals on the platinum smile line. And I'm using my crystal pickup tool from Scarlet Centre, so I use the pointy end to apply the gem glue, and then the pickup end for picking up and moving around. I do clean off the pointy end as well so I can move around with that. So here I'm just adding a couple more, bringing it down the nail, because there was no rhyme or reason to it. Flash cure, because I don't want those moving around, and then I'm just going to add a couple more on the middle finger, I think it is. I can't tell on these hands. So I wasn't particularly happy with the smile line on that one in the end, so I picked out a clear star. This was from Crystal Parade. Flash cured that very quickly in place, and then I just added a couple of black and clear crystals either side of that, following that smile line shape. And once I was happy, pop in the lamp to do a full 60-second cure, get all those crystals fully stuck down. I did flash cure it first so that they didn't move as I moved the hand into the lamp. And now we're going in with Miss Tina. So I've just decanted a little bit out onto well, it's actually a catch tray, but a palette, whatever. That's just so I can pick it up to get in and around the crystals. So on this finger, starting at the cuticle, just coming sort of halfway down the nail, then at the tip, and then I'll get my detail brush out and get right up to those crystals, right into any little nooks and crannies so that they are doubly secure. Do the same thing on the next nail around all of those crystals, and then pop these nails into the lamp for a full 60-second cure, and this design's done. And here they are, fully cured, all finished. Now don't forget, if you are working on an actual client or an actual hand, let that top coat cool down and finish off with your cuticle oil. But Miss Danny does not need that. And I loved how they turned out. I really did, even with those few little imperfections with my nail beds and smile lines. They really didn't matter to me because I knew going in I was adding charms, and I love these. I love this whole glitter range anyway, but I do love that platinum one. And the great thing about the superfine glitters is you can use them with gel polish or acrylic. It doesn't matter what sort of medium you work with. These are a must have in my opinion, and there are 24 colours, so you've got every single colour you could possibly need in your collection. That is it for this video, and my last one using the superfine glitters. We will have a new glitter of the week or glitter collection of the week next week, so be sure to check out a couple of design videos then. I will pop details of the products I have used in the description box as always, but they are all from the nail team, well, apart from a couple of the crystals and that charm. And don't forget, you can use Helen 5 at the nail team for 5% off all full priced items. Please give this video a thumbs up, and if you are new to my channel or you just haven't already, please click subscribe. I would love to have you join me here. Leave me any comments down below, and I will see you in another design very, very soon. Bye. Mwah.